Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about The Ballot or The Bullet by Malcolm X. Now, before I go into summary and analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. All right, The Ballot or The Bullet. We have a lot to talk about here. There's a lot of things happening within this work. Let's begin with the title. All right, The Ballot or The Bullet. All right, the ballot. Going to vote, going into that booth, voting for people that are going to help out the black community, putting people in office that are going to make the right decisions for your community so that, you can get upward mobility and, job opportunities and all that kind of stuff. And, what you want to see happen in the society that you live in. Or the bullet. All right, the bullet. Being more aggressive. If it's taking too long to get what you need, by voting, Malcolm X suggests, well, we should be more aggressive, more violent. If it takes, to get, put on hands-on force to get what you want, Malcolm X is not opposed to doing that. Very different from MLK, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, coming from a Christian principle, it's, peace, love, protests, marches, nonviolence. Um, and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they did not see eye to eye on these things. Malcolm X was a Muslim. Martin Luther King was a Christian. Different views, different religions, um, trying to somewhat achieve the same goal, but different approaches to achieving the same goal. But Malcolm X, within this work, he does call upon all black people to unite to get this done. And now, deeper within the work, he's talking about black nationalism. And what is that? Black nationalism is when you're talking about black people owning black businesses, black people owning homes, black people owning establishments, black people owning franchises. Now, if you truly want to make money that will last forever, generational wealth, old money basically, you have to create businesses, you have to own land, you have to own houses, you have to own property. Most black people, a lot of black people, or a lot of people who don't know about this, a lot of people are okay with hourly work or a salary work. Now, a lot of people nowadays think that salary work is where it's at. It's like where they strive to achieve. Well, salary work has a cap on it. Hourly work has a cap on it. You can be a nurse, a lawyer, an engineer. You can be, I mean, very successful, well-paying jobs, but still, it's salary work because those positions, although they're great, although they give you a lot of money, they still have a cap because when you work for someone, when you work for an establishment, when you work for a hospital, a law firm, um, there's always a contract that you have to sign. You'll always be, you're always working for somebody at the end of the day. You might be working for a very successful organization. Um, you're always going to be part of a cohort, and pretty much you're just being paid for your services. But true generational wealth, making money for yourself, owning your own business, your own establishment, your own franchise, it's exponential. A lot of American businesses, think about the Google, Amazon, all these other businesses, they go coast to coast, international even. So they don't have a limit, and so their ability to make money does not end. I mean, one day, if it's possible, you could have a Starbucks on Mars because it's a corporation. It's gonna expand so long as there's an ability to make money, make profit, serve customers, and keep growing the business. They're gonna keep growing the business, and that generational wealth will keep coming in because that's what a business is. It just keeps expanding. But if you're an hourly worker, a salary worker, you have a cap. There's always a cap for people who work. I mean, don't get me wrong, most humans will most likely work hourly or salary work. That's just how it is. Not everybody can start an Amazon. Um, But that's what Malcolm X is saying within specifically. Let's think about more micro here. Malcolm X is saying in black communities, black people should own black businesses, black homes, black stores. Because when you look in the black community, supermarkets, houses, little stores, a lot of times it's people from other communities that are the owners, and they hire black people to work at them. And so you really don't get generational wealth because you don't have a business, and you can't expand that business, and you can't grow that business. And so Malcolm X is saying that other people come from other communities. They come in, they have their stores, we buy from them, we work for them, and then they take that money and they go do other things with it for their communities. And so you don't get to really benefit from the money that's in your community. So that hourly work, or that salary work, the wages you earn, you give it right back to them, because, well, you don't have a business that you can support, that can support black ideas and black ideals. So it's very deep, there's a lot of nuance and a lot of levels you can take this to. So black nationalism, he promotes this a lot within this work, within the ballot or the bullet. What we need to do to secure a future for black people. He's talking about, it's like this revolution. We might need to take this to different courts. And it's not a bloody warfare that he's looking for. He's looking for more, economic securities, political securities, establishing a reality where black people are not just, with their hands out waiting for somebody to put things in their hands, but where black people are building things for themselves. So, very interesting work here. Now, in terms of deeper meaning analysis, um, I mean, the more aggressive side to it, the bullet part, the ballot part, the black nationalism part, the building communities part, that's great. But the bullet part, I mean, he's not saying let's go out and fight and go to war, but the bullet part is more aggressive. Um, it's a reality where, again, you might, if again, he's saying either or. So if the ballot, if the voting, if the civil way of doing things is not quick enough or not fast enough, or it doesn't give you results, we might need to go and use the bullet. And, well, that's not easy. Again, going the direction of the bullet just leaves people dead. I mean, both Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were killed. So, yeah, the bullet just leaves people dead. Um, Ultimately, the ballot is what got us to where we need to be with civil rights and everything. Um, so, the ballot is much more feasible, we can say. I mean, we can definitely, it's debatable which one is, or which one should be used. I think the ballot is the most, is reasonable. The bullet, it just bloodshed, warfare, people dying, um, bringing people to the table. Diplomacy is always better than shooting people. I think it just always makes more sense. But there's many layers to the ballot or the bullet. Um, it's a call to action. Ultimately, in the end, it's a call to action. This work is calling out black people, telling them to unite, no matter what your religion, Christian, Muslim. If you're in the black community, this work is calling you to move to action. You can go through the political way, through the peace way, or you can go through the violence way. Ultimately, it's just saying we need change in this country. 1964 is the year of the ballot or the bullet. That's what he's saying. And we just, at that point in time, the black people in the country at the time, they just had to make a decision of how they were going to move forward with their lives and how they're going to secure an economy for themselves, a culture for themselves, and prosperity for themselves. That's all I had to say about the work. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.